Former President Donald J. Trump made a firm assertion of innocence and entered a plea of not guilty to the startling 37 federal charges brought against him in a courtroom spectacle that was watched with much anticipation.
A rigged deal here. We have a rigged country. We have a country that's corrupt. We have a country that's got no borders. We have a country that's got nothing but problems. We're a nation in decline, and then they do this stuff. And you see where the people are. We love the people.
Allegations of obstruction of justice are included among the financial crimes, which also include tax evasion, bank fraud, and money laundering. The ongoing discussion about Trump's actions while in office has been revived by this crucial moment, upping the stakes as the legal processes advance. The outcome of a high-profile trial, which the country is preparing for, might have an impact on how American politics develop in the future and how people view accountability in positions of authority. The scope and seriousness of the accusations against Trump are mind-boggling. Among the claims that have been leveled against the defendant are allegations of tax evasion, defrauding financial institutions, engaging in schemes to launder money, and conspiring to commit wire fraud. The allegations depict a complicated network of financial irregularities and potential power abuse. In addition, Trump is accused of obstructing justice during several investigations, including the inquiry into Russian meddling in the presidential election of 2016, as well as subsequent attempts to undermine and impair the investigation itself. These charges surfaced during the course of the investigation into Russian interference in the election. The charges raise questions about Trump's business deals, financial habits, and behavior as President of the United States. Allegations of tax evasion and financial crimes are at the center of the charges brought against Trump. According to the prosecution, Trump fabricated his financial documents to understate his income and overstate his assets, which resulted in significant tax evasion. The accusations imply a planned and organized attempt to deceive the government and the American people. Furthermore, claims of bank fraud and money laundering further complicate the picture, portraying a narrative of financial misbehavior that spans years. Allegations of obstruction of justice are a crucial aspect of the charges. Trump is accused of obstructing investigations, particularly those looking into Russian meddling in the 2016 election, by using his position as president. These accusations are the result of events like the dismissal of James Comey.
There's nothing new in this new document.
What were some of those mistakes from your point of view?
That the FBI didn't communicate clearly the status of certain sources. They didn't double check certain information before putting it in a court application for a foreign intelligence wiretap, and a bunch of others.
The former director of the FBI, who was in charge of the investigation into Russian meddling, and subsequent efforts to obstruct the probe. The allegations of obstruction have serious ramifications as they cast doubt on the fairness of the democratic system and the ability to hold public officials responsible. Trump, who has consistently denied any wrongdoing, has put together a strong legal team to fight back against the accusations. His attorneys contend that the accusations are politically motivated and that they are part of a larger campaign to undermine and silence a former president who dared to question the status quo. They claim that the evidence against Trump is thin and circumstantial and is an attempt to smear his reputation out of desperation. Additionally, Trump's legal team argues that as President of the United States, he was acting within his rights and that all of his activities, including those at the focus of the accusations, were under the umbrella of executive privilege. They contend that the accusations undermine the power of the executive branch and ignore the millions of Americans who supported him in the election, endangering the entire institution of the presidency. The public's reactions to the news of Trump's indictment have been varied and fervent, as was to be expected. Supporters of the former president argue that the accusations are politically motivated and point out that there isn't any proof directly connecting Trump to the alleged offenses. They contend that this is yet another calculated move by his adversaries to undermine his presidency and thwart a possible return to politics. On the other side, Trump's detractors and opponents believe the accusations are long overdue. They claim that there is strong evidence against him, pointing to a pattern of behavior and purported financial wrongdoing. It is believed that holding a former president responsible for his deeds is a vital step in supporting the rule of law and protecting the credibility of the American legal system. The verdict in this case will have a significant impact on American politics and the nation as a whole. A fundamental change in the political climate of the country would result from the conviction of Trump on any or all of the accusations. The penalties could have an impact on the Republican Party and the larger conservative movement beyond just criminal repercussions for Trump. If Trump is found not guilty, on the other hand, it might inspire his fans and serve as a launching pad for his return to politics. The trial would probably act as a rallying cry for his followers, escalating the ideological and political rifts in the nation and determining the direction of American politics for many years to come. In addition, the trial's verdict will influence public perception of the legal system and the people's capacity to hold individuals in positions of authority accountable. It will establish a standard for how future presidents and political figures will be looked into, accused of, and tried. The legitimacy and openness of the courtroom proceedings will be extensively examined, and the decision will have a significant impact on the public's trust in the legal system. The trial of a former president presents a special difficulty because it examines how well the demands of accountability and individual liberties may coexist. The legal system must handle the case's complexity while respecting the concepts of justice and impartiality. It is a chance for the American justice system to reveal its capacity to administer justice devoid of political coercion or favoritism. The trial has legal ramifications, but it also has symbolic value. It stands for the constant fight for justice, accountability, and openness in a democracy. It emphasizes the value of checks and balances, as well as the rule of law in a country where nobody is above the law, regardless of their status. The American public and the rest of the world will definitely pay attention to the trial. The entire world will be keeping a close eye on how the United States handles this crucial period in its history. The outcome will influence how the world views American democracy and its dedication to the rule of law and justice. With his categorical declaration of innocence and not guilty plea to 37 federal counts, former President Donald Trump's legal case has entered a crucial stage. The trial is ongoing, and both fans and detractors are closely following the proceedings. The country is still sharply divided. Trump's legal future will be decided by the conclusion of this trial, but it will also have a significant impact on American politics and the public's perception of accountability at the highest levels of government. Regardless of the outcome, one thing is for certain. For years to come, the story of accountability, the rule of law, and the future of the country will continue to be closely followed, hotly argued, and shaped by this trial. It is a pivotal point in American history that forces the nation to address issues of justice, authority, and the lingering effects of a prior president.